Caught by a parking ticket. Hello everyone. Here's my tale of how my GF26 cheated on me 31, on our relationship of almost 7 years living together for 5. So for some context, both of us have been working from home for a bit more than a year due to the pandemic, and besides her job she was also studying for her master's degree. We met almost 7 years ago. We were introduced by a mutual friend, and I guess it was pretty much love at first sight. We were both pretty close in personality, introverted. We both loved to stay home, chill in the yard, watch series, etc. For the first few months of this year we were both working until pretty late, as I was working on a big project for work, and it was not unusual to work 13-14 hours per day, and during that time she would be doing some group project assisting classes for her university. From time to time she would need to assist some classes in person, meet in person with some colleagues. So the weird behaviors start here. For the last few months she started receiving texts, pretty much every single night, which she would excuse as not being anyone in particular, but the group chats. We were always pretty comfortable with using each other's phones, as I guess a couple of months ago none of us had anything to hide, until one day out of curiosity, while we were in line at the grocery store, I just asked if she would show me this chatting app she was using to communicate with her university colleague Signal. As we opens the app, this instantly opens to a guy's chat, which she tries to close quickly, and this is the first time I saw this guy's name. She changes the chat to a group conversation and the show me the app. I patiently wait until we get home to ask her about dude's name, and for the first time I see she becomes very defensive about her phone. She immediately puts it on her pocket and yells at me that she allowed to have male friends. I just asked her who the dude was, because at this point I was already suspecting because of all the nightly messages. From this point on it wasn't hard to notice that the messages completely stopped. 99 sure she just disabled the notifications. A couple of months later I went out of the house with the dog, and as I'm coming home I can hear her on the phone with someone. I can clearly hear her say I need to hang. He probably arriving and bye-bye. I love you last part 1 could hear very well because of the wind that day. I come home and casually ask what she was doing while I was gone. She answers just watching TV. I confront her with what I had heard, and again she lies and says she was just talking with a female coworker. This time I didn't let it pass that easily and confront her with what I had heard. She dismisses me as being paranoid because of all the work and tells me I need to get my shit together because she never gave me any reasons to doubt her. And I kinda believed, but warned her that I was suspicious anyway, and I was not going to break her privacy and check her phone, but someday, if anything was going on I was going to find out. Until last Friday, thankfully it was one of the days she had to leave the house, so I was the one who opened the door when the bell rang. A post office worker delivers what seems to be a parking ticket. Now I know it would be impossible for her to get it at university as she was paying for a parking spot, so I opened the letter because I knew this was going to prove my suspicions. I patiently waited for her to come home and confronted her. That ticket was way too far to be her workplace or university. She started by dismissing the ticket, saying she had borrowed it to a female colleague. I knew that this was my shot for the truth, so no way I was going to let her get away with lies a third time. I told her to either call that friend right then in front of me or I would pack my stuff and leave. And so she confessed, a bit, and then she says that she borrowed the car to dude's name from earlier and tells me she would call him to confirm he was driving the car. I obviously refused. No way I was going to believe the guy I was pretty much sure she was cheating on me with. I was going to pack and leave. And then she confesses a bit more. This guy had forced himself into her with a kiss. After some more confrontations, she actually comes clean and tells me she drove to his place to have sex a couple of times. I tell her to call her family to come pick her up. At this point she's crying a lot. My world was shattered. We bought a house together last year and adopted 2 dogs, had been talking about getting married in the past few months. We wanted kids, so she was doing research about maybe adopting. She has some medical conditions that could prevent her from having kids. Her family has been very supportive of me, as her mother was also being cheated on by her father a couple of years ago, and they are separated. This girl always told me how much she hated her father because of this. I don't know what to do. My brain and all my friends are telling me to let her go. Not only has she cheated, she lied for months and until the very end. Even her own mother pretty much implied that this should be my choice. But I still love her, a lot. She was my best friend and I'm so scared that I will never be able to meet anyone that I have so much in common with. I think I'm not bad looking, but I do have a very big lack of social skills, can count with my hand the amount of friends that I have, and I don't use social media well, excluding Reddit, which means that it would probably be even harder for me to meet anyone like her ever again. Her family pretty much loves me as one of their own and I totally feel the same, so losing this girl means losing a big part of what has been my family for the last 7 years. I've kept in touch with her aunt, and as far as I know she wants to get back with me and will attend a psychologist as she was unable to justify to herself. Her family why she have cheated on me. I've always been correct with her, never lied and work my ass off at my job and around the house. I like cooking and don't mind cleaning on the weekends. I do not want to have any kind of contact with her for a couple of months as I believe I need to clear my head. My brother has been my rock and have slept on my couch for the past few nights. I've talked with my boss and used all my remaining holidays for the next 2 weeks. I will use this time to focus on myself and on my dogs. I apologize for the wall of text, but I had a lot on my chest and wanted the advice of people who have been on the same situation. I love my friends, but I think most of them have a very radical opinion. What else you take? Is it worth to try again? If you do, how do you move on? How can you trust a person like this again? Should I ignore her during this time that I'm forcing myself to clear my head? Should I cut my losses and try to move on? TLDR. My GF of almost 7 years lied to my face for months, got caught by a parking ticket, proceeded to lie some more until she admitted to have slept a couple of times with another guy. Before all of this we had a great relationship, always supported each other and were very, very close. She was my best friend. Even during the months that she was cheating, I was never able to tell because she was nice as always and continued to talk research about our future. P.S. Her ticket happened during some holidays I had taken to be with her, which she said she had cancelled at the last minute. While I was home alone on a day we were supposed to spend together, she was going to the other guy's house. PPS. This is a repost from another board, but a kind user redirected me here. Since I have originally posted this, I have made an appointment with a psychologist to help me deal with the situation. Edit. Thank you all so much for all the kind feedback. You are confirming what I feared, but I know you are correct. In other news, I have joined a gym yesterday and started exercising. 0818 update. I am taking care of getting tested. I am also reconnecting with old friends and the amount of support I'm getting here and IRL is incredible. I have so much more than I was expecting. I can't thank you all enough for the wise advice in this difficult time. It's over and it will always be over. She is her father. She saw exactly what went down with her parents. Saw the emotional pain her mother went through. She has the best evidence of what infidelity does to a person. And did it anyway. You can do better. I understand your self-esteem is at an all-time low. And you start to think it's the best you can do. It is absolutely not. You know what hurts as much as the cheating? The repeatedly lying to your face when you've got very obvious evidence? That she could continue to hurt you intentionally for so long when you knew exactly what she was doing. There's no happy ending with her here. That's too much to overcome. Y'all had great shared history for a while, but she is genetically flawed like her father. You can't get back what you had. The girl you fell in love with no longer exists. She is a broken human being. She will see a therapist if you get back together? Nope. She should be making plans already to fix herself and her behaviors. Not just do it to satisfy you. That means she isn't really truthful about wanting to change. She's just truthful about wanting to convince you she's changed. I'll bet if you had access to her phone today, she would still be texting that guy. Get tested for VD, and if you own anything together, consult a lawyer. She's not worth redeeming with reconciliation. She knew what was at stake. She knew what cheating did to her own family. And she still did it and damned the consequences of breaking your heart. Go completely NC with her indefinitely. She made all of her selfish choices. Now she will be imprisoned by them. Now it's time for you to live again. Therapy will do you good. And will get your self-esteem back, my friend. Good luck to you. Never forgive cheating before marriage. I did, and I paid for it for decades. Get out now. You already know what should you do, man. You are just in denial. According to your description, everything was perfect. She still cheated on you. Remember, this is not your fault at all. She is just selfish and wanted something new. Just cut off contact. Be happy that you are not married and move on. It's her loss, mate. All the best.